Thanks, buddy.
Devon,
what's up, guys?
Congratulations!
Hey, I love what you guys do.
Congratulations!
Thanks for covering the event last night.
Of course,
that was real cool.
Milo, welcome to the Natty Bros YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys coming on.
We can have Milo because it's not.
I'm not Natty. I don't know. Look at these.
He's too big. He's too massive.
Devon, how proud are you of your kids? Milo competing against Juji Mufu.
Yeah, that was a great match. That was a great match. Hey, listen, I'm proud of these kids just for living their best lives, for following their passion. You know, it's cool that we all get to arm wrestle, but I always just want people to follow their passion in life, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. We got the whole family here this weekend. Is that a first? No, we have everybody. Yeah, but no, it's great. Every once in a while we get to do these things to family, and you know, I've told Auden, I'd tell anybody, you know, the best thing to do is to be raised in the trenches. You know, like talk about like Brian Shaw's coming in, tough for a guy like Brian Shaw. But if you're young and you're not super established, get raised in the trenches. Go to the tournaments. Don't worry, winning, losing. Nothing matters until you're like 30. You're not a world champ until you're like early 30s at the kind of earliest up. Like nobody's really their best until then anyway. So the more you can accumulate, you know, battles, get in there and fight. And it's different now. Like when I was growing up, you know, there'd be a couple good guys in a class, maybe. And now, like, you know, the classes are all stacked and it's very competitive.
Speaking of that, Auden was in a really stacked class yesterday. He was with Ryan Bowen, Artem, Christo.
Really, Steve Marquis. He was real good.
Very terrific. I think that is very entertaining to watch at that level, because a lot of times we saw Artem versus Auden and that's it. We have a super match, but then we get to see all of those different matches. What do you think? Because it used to be more like that.
I love it. I think you got to have both, okay? I think the best thing you can do as a young athlete is grow up in tournaments. You know, get a ton of experience, face a ton of guys. If you find yourself rising to the top, listen, spend as much time as you can in the amateurs. Okay? Be an amateur arm wrestler. Okay? When you start winning the amateurs, go to the pros and take your beatings there. Okay? Listen, if you got a grudge match here and there, that's cool. Fight in your clubs, okay? Establish club rankings. Climb up your club. Start winning pro classes. Once you're winning pro classes, state champion, national champion, then it starts to, you know, time to close in on those specific people on the ladder to get you into the top 10, top 5, world rankings, end up on the main stage, you know. But yeah, man, when you're young, fight in the tournaments, it's the best training you can do is compete. Like people think about like peaking for tournaments, which is great, but really you can look at it as training. Get in there and fight.
That's great advice. Where do you see the trajectory of our sport? I think we're on a great path right now. What Robert's doing, what Dexter's doing, getting on CBS, Barstool Sports. What's next? The Olympics? Like, what is next for the sport of arm wrestling to get more mainstream? Because it's still a niche sport right now.
There's a ton of opportunity. I really think that East versus West is kind of the central hub. You know, so we have the top of the sport covered off very well. There's a lot of leagues, you know, we've got the WAF, we've got IFA, you know, I hate that there's that political crap, which I really think is just so silly. I wish that, you know, all the leagues would just let people do their thing and realize that together, you know, we lift arm wrestling. I don't think all this banning is beneficial for anybody. I think that we should really relax there, and I think it'd probably save the sport a whole bunch of headache. But yeah, a lot of these new leagues, they're great. You know, I'd encourage anybody, host a tournament, host a league, start a club, you know, do your piece, get it in the schools, school tournaments. I think this is good stuff. You know, more you can work with kids, the better. Do we need the Olympics? You know, whatever. Enhanced games is knocking. Okay? They're calling us. There's a lot of debate on what to do there. It's tough to get into the Olympics because the Olympics is cutting sports. But really, just any and all exposure is basically always a win.
Yes. Caleb and I actually hosted our first super match event last week.
Oh, good.
So it's a local New England thing.
Yeah.
And we're attracting some big names like RBJ potentially might be on another
good.
card.
Yeah.
Nick Stone.
Oh, that's great.
Some left-handed matches.
Yeah.
I was thinking one day maybe we could get Milo or Auden on the card.
Yeah. Well.
What do you think Auden would think of a match with RVJ? You think that's intriguing?
Ooh, I mean, listen. In my mind, RBJ is still a bit ahead of Auden.
Yeah.
Auden and I talk all the time about, the path, right? And we both believe that you don't need to be the best and put a whole lot of time into picking this match or picking that match. If a great match comes along, that's great. But what we want to focus on right now is activity, right? We want to be on the circuit. We want to be going to events and just becoming worthy, right? So that there is no slowdown in the development. These years when you're growing, like when you're a teenager, before you're 25, these are just years that you can accumulate experience at a very low cost. When you get older, pick and choose your stuff a bit more, but accumulate experience to the max.
When are you going to accumulate some experience in Boston? When are you going to come down?
Hey man, I would love to. I'll tell you, I'm on the road a lot. Okay, we travel a good chunk. We're willing to go wherever. Okay, we love to travel for arm wrestling. We love to see the world, and we harvest energy. Like when we show up in a new place, the amount of energy and the training that we get is worth the trip. So let's go to Boston, man.
Yeah.
Let's go to Boston.
And we've been talking with Milo. We're thinking of coming up visiting Ottawa.
Come. Really, you want to hone in on the end of July. Okay. That July 26th, Ottawa High Hooker Day. Okay, it's a celebration of arm wrestling. You'll have fun. That's guaranteed.
That'd be awesome.
Arm wrestling Woodstock, pretty much.
How proud of you are of your dad, your brother, and yourself?
Infinitely. Yeah, they're incredible people. They deserve all the victories they get. Sorry, I'm half asleep right now, otherwise I'm more enthusiastic, but congrats, Dad.
Hey, and I love watching you too against Juji Mufu on Mac. It's been terrific watching you as well.
I'll be competing in the MAC in a couple months now, so.
Yeah, looking forward to that. But Devon, appreciate your time.
Thanks for your time, guys. I love your channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep on pushing arm wrestling.
Hey, Dad.